In today's video, we're going to be testing out the Viral TikTok grinder sandwich. I've been seeing this sandwich all over the place and I can't seem to get past it because it's constantly showing up on my For You page on TikTok. I've seen lots of people making this and I just wanted to give it a try because every time I see that salad that goes on the grinder sandwich, it just looks so delicious. So I'm gonna be testing out that sandwich today, but instead of using bread, you know, I prefer chaffles over keto bread and stuff. So I'm gonna just be making chaffle today for it. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna make a grinder chaffle sandwich. They use prosciutto for this. They use salami. And they use turkey. I just realized that I ran out of turkey, so I will be using ham today, but I'm sure it's fine. Now, about the ingredients for this grinder sandwich. So what they do is they get like a garlic butter and they put it on the bread, and then on the sandwich they put the deli meat and the cheese, and then they bake it into the oven to kind of get the cheese melted and everything. So once they do that, then what they do is they make the salad dressing, which is iceberg lettuce with some red onion and some pepperoncinis mixed with some seasonings and some red wine vinegar. And then they mix that up and it makes like a little salad that goes inside the sandwich. So I'm actually going to do it with coleslaw just because coleslaw is, you know, stays a little crunchier longer and stuff like that. So, and I really like the crunch. So we're gonna do it with coleslaw today. We're gonna start off by making our Wonder Bread Chaffle. That way it can cool down while we do the rest. Okay, to start off, we're gonna make our Wonder Bread Chaffle, which is just a no cheese chaffle. It does not contain any cheese. We're gonna add in 1 large egg to a bowl, and then to that, we're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of almond flour and 1 teaspoon of water. If you prefer coconut flour, you can do this with coconut flour, but just do 1 tablespoon instead of 3. Now, we're also adding in here some sweetener, some psyllium husk, and some onion powder and garlic powder. And then here I have 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. You can use heavy cream, mayonnaise, or sour cream for this. So it really doesn't matter. All 3 of those will work. So whatever your preference is. And then once we have all of our ingredients together, all we're going to do is mix it up. And like I said, you can do the same thing with coconut flour if you are allergic to nuts and you cannot do the almond flour. Depending on how it is, because coconut flour absorbs so much, you may have to add in another teaspoon of water maybe. So just play with it and see what the consistency looks like once you do that. Alright, so I'm using my dash here that actually makes 4 at a time, and I love this thing because I batch make them so often that I am definitely not using that little mini dash 100 times. And I am spraying this with some olive oil spray, so whatever kind of spray you normally use. And then we're going to put in, just like a cheese chaffle, this is going to make half of the batter. So it's going to give you 2 chaffles. So obviously this is what we need for an entire sandwich. So we are going to add in half of our batter to one and then put the remaining on the other one. Alright, and you're going to let these cook for about 4 minutes and then take them out. So it looks like our Wonder Bread Chaffles are done. So now we're just going to set them to the side. We're going to set them on a cooling rack. So you just want to let them sit for a few minutes so they can get nice and firm. And we're just going to put this chaffle iron away and get started on the next step. Alright, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to make a quick garlic butter. Okay, so here I have my seasonings here, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I have 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and I have 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder because I love garlic. If you're using salted butter, you can probably skip out on the salt, but I do use unsalted butter because I just prefer to just add my salt in. Okay, so for our salad, they use iceberg lettuce, but I decided to go ahead with coleslaw. One, because that is what I had, and two, I just figured coleslaw stays a little crunchier longer, so that is what I decided to go with. So we're going to start by adding our ingredients to make our dressing in the bowl first, just to make it a little easier. And this is about half a cup of mayonnaise here. And then here I'm adding in a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then you can adjust this to your liking. So I would do like 1 to 2 tablespoons. Just start off with a tablespoon. And then here we have some seasonings. We just have salt and pepper. It's a fourth teaspoon of salt and a fourth teaspoon of pepper is what I ended up using. And then here I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of oregano, dried oregano, and 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. All right, and now we're adding in some chopped red onions. I don't think it matters how you add your onions in, but I like them chopped up. And we're adding in some banana peppers here, and this is a third of a cup. And then the onions was I believe it was half a red onion, but it was a small red onion for me. And I mean, adjust to your liking too. So you may want a little more or less of something. And then here I'm adding in a couple cups of coleslaw. I believe I ended up using 3 cups of coleslaw here. And again, the original recipe does call for iceberg lettuce, but I went with what I had, and I honestly think that the coleslaw is nice because it won't get soggy as fast as iceberg lettuce will. Okay, so let's grab our Wonder Bread Chaffles here, and we're gonna just put them on the plate, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how they assemble it. Um, so again, it doesn't matter what bread you use. I'm just using a chaffle because I love chaffles, and I prefer chaffles any day over store bought keto bread. One, the ingredients are better. Two, it's less carbs, and it's just, fresh, and I'm making it at home and I know what's in it. All right, so we're going to grab our garlic butter, and they put garlic butter on each side of the sandwich, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And hey, the nice thing about chaffles or Wonder Bread chaffles are that you get these nice little pockets here, so it kind of holds your spread in there. So that's a plus already. So let's go ahead and spread that on there, and then we can go ahead and start adding our middle of our sandwich on. And I'm just going to do it exactly the way they do it. Okay, so the next thing they do to build this grinder sandwich is they start adding on the deli meat. Now, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, this sandwich actually uses turkey, but I didn't have any turkey and I thought I did, so I'm just replacing ham. So here I'm going to add on some salami. Okay, and then the last deli meat that we're adding on here is some prosciutto. And we are just going to add on a little bit of that to the sandwich. And then the next step is going to be the cheese. Okay, and then, I mean, you can assemble it any way that you want, but I believe one of the videos I saw, they put the meat on both sides and then they put cheese on both sides before they toasted it. Okay, and then the cheese I'm using is going to be provolone and Munster cheese. So I'm just going to add one on each side. So we got provolone on one. Now we're adding the Munster on another. And then what they also did was they got shredded Parmesan cheese and they added the shredded Parmesan on top of whatever cheese you decide to use. They put Parmesan cheese on top. I did 400 for like 2 minutes, just until the cheese is melted. Okay, guys, yeah, so it was about 2 minutes, do 2 to 3 minutes, And we're going to add on a slice of tomato. As you can see, the cheese is all melted. And then the only other thing we're going to do, you're going to add a tomato on there. And I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning. And then we're going to add our salad on top of that. All right, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half just to make it a little easier so I can show you what it looks like on the inside and a little easier for me to take a bite. Alright guys, so we are done with this grinder sandwich chaffle that is trending all over TikTok. So we made the grinder sandwich chaffle today. So here is what it looks like. Okay, that looks so amazing right there. So let's see what it tastes like. And this Wonder Bread holds up just fine because I eat sandwiches on these with vinegar and oil all the time, and the psyllium husk makes it much more sturdy too. So you guys, sorry. This is so good. You can taste the garlic butter on the sandwich, and then you could taste a little bit of spice in the dressing because of the red pepper flakes and the pepperoncinis. It goes so good together, you guys. You have got to try the sandwich. It is so good. The grinder sandwich is definitely worth the hype. I will definitely be making this again. On that note, I will see you on the next video.